고상구묘 고사이슈야구난 가이히지엔 메시코모안 에손누쇼아군노 쯔다튼센슈몬 고소조만덕 이연오지보 니칭아드슈즈기 땡콤풍엔 이슈카이호소 고세그노그호 조다이슈즈 셈모시시금 그요이사이붓 의송의슈동의혼 간내시트조만 돈의상가요 여부트무게집 쯔다트미 부쇼 강가그에릭 도시사이쇼선 시간야고가 다이센노간도 고그쇼텐닌 오흐짐형에
We will now have the golden chain. The golden chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida
Namo
Butsu.
Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Now Rinban Sakamoto will introduce our guest speaker.
Good morning. It's good to see all of you here for this very important Earth Day service. We are very fortunate to have as our guest speaker this morning Michael Kobori. He has been a long time a part of the Kobori family, has been a long time part of our Sangha here. And his dad served as superintendent at one point. He was a Dharma school student. But more recently, and as importantly perhaps, he has served in a capacity of a leader in sustainable growth, sustainable practices within major industries within our country. He has served at Levi Strauss, and more recently Starbucks, and currently he is a board member of Bungie. Is that how it's pronounced? Bungie? Bungie, like bungee cord. Yeah? Okay. And as in that position, the group connects farmers with consumers to help them receive products or purchase products that are sustainable food, fuel, and I can't read my own handwriting. It's food, fuel, and feed. Okay. So very important, this idea of sustainability. In the Buddhist Church of America, we have Endowment Foundation, and we have always tried to invest in companies that are aware of DIE as well as ESG's, environmental, sustainable and governance. And he has played an important role in that effort throughout the major industries here in the United States. So we were very fortunate to have with us Michael Kobori. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rinban Sakamoto, for that very kind introduction. Good morning and happy Earth Day to everybody here in the Betsuin. As Reverend Sakamoto said, I grew up in San Jose here, and I attended Dharma school from kindergarten until high school. And I kind of had to do that because my dad was the superintendent. And I'm speaking to you today, since I said so I worked at Starbucks, but I wasn't a barista. I was something called the Chief Sustainability Officer. And so you may be wondering, so what does a Chief Sustainability Officer do? And why are we talking about Starbucks and sustainability in the church? Well, first thing, a Chief Sustainability Officer at Starbucks and at any company is responsible for making sure that that company reduces its environmental impact on the planet. Okay? So that's what I did. Everything from the amount of water that we use to make the coffee to the reducing the waste generated by all of these things. Okay, the cups that you just throw away. And in terms of sustainability and Buddhism, you know, you may have heard in previous Earth Day services that we have in Buddhism this concept called oneness, that is everything is interconnected. Now, if you think about our planet, and I think we have a slide of the planet Earth, it's very similar to our environmental concept of an ecosystem. So in an ecosystem like on the planet Earth, it means that all the living things, all the plants and the animals, interact with all the non-living things, the soil and the water and the air. And when they interact together, they form this system. Now, in a good, sustainable ecosystem, everything mutually reinforces itself, each other, and everything exists in harmony. Okay? And if this sounds like some of the things that senseis tell you on Sunday, it is. Everything exists in harmony in the ecosystem and in the Buddhist concept of oneness. And in fact, sometimes it makes me think that maybe the Buddha was one of the first environmentalists. Think about that. Now, 10 years ago, the Buddhist Church began to celebrate Earth Day in something called Eco Sangha. And so I think many of you participate in those activities. And one of the ideas behind Earth Day here at church and Eco Sangha is this idea of, it's a Japanese term called mottainai. It means don't waste. And so when we think about waste, that's how it relates to Starbucks. Now, I have to ask all of you, we have a big audience here. How many of you go to Starbucks? Raise your hand. Many of you. And what do you do at Starbucks? You drink. And right, when you order that drink, it comes in one of these. This is a disposable cup. You probably throw it away after you use it. Now, can anyone guess, or I'll give you a number. Think about how many of these disposable cups Starbucks uses in 1 year, okay? There's many Starbucks all around the world. Now, I'm going to give you a number, and raise your hand if you think it's that number. How many of you think Starbucks uses 100 million cups in a year? That's a lot. 100 million. Nobody. Okay, you're smart. The number is higher. Okay, how many of you think it's 1 billion cups in a year? Raise your hand. 1 billion. Some of you. Okay. How many of you think it's 5 billion cups in 1 year? Raise your hand. Oh, many of you think that. Okay. The real number, the actual number, don't tell Starbucks, they don't want you to know this. 7 billion cups in 1 year. 7 billion cups in 1 year. Now, some of those are recycled, but many of them go into the trash. Okay, it's a lot of waste. So at Starbucks, I tried to use this idea of mottainai and do a couple of things. One of them, maybe you know this, if you take your own reusable thermos to Starbucks, they'll fill it with your drink and they'll give you 10 cents off. Okay? Oh yeah, remember that, okay? The second thing, thank you, Emily. The second thing, if you go to the Starbucks and you sit and stay there, the barista will ask if you want it in a reusable mug. So say yes, because that also reduces waste. Now, I know many of you are going to go to your Eco Sangha activities this morning. And as you do that, I would ask you to remember 3 things that we talked about. Okay? The first one is easy. Number 1 is oneness. Remember this idea of oneness, and everything is interconnected in Buddhism and in the environment. Number 2, think about mottainai. Don't waste. And number 3, when you go to Starbucks, remember, bring your reusable cup or ask for them to give you in a reusable mug. Because you can make a difference in the environment. So make sure you do these things, not only at Starbucks, anywhere you go. Think about this and you can make a difference on the environment. So happy Earth Day, and thank you very much. Namo Amitabha.
Thank you, Mr. Kobori. Please rise to sing Gatha Sayonara on page 103 in the Little Service Book, followed by the Promise located on page 5 in the Little Book or page 15 in the Big Book.
Tanoshiku kyou mo sumimashita. Yasashii miyoya ni mamorarete. Ureshii ouchi e kaerimashou. Sayonara minasan gokigen yo. Sayonara sensei o daiji ni. Tanoshii kondo no tsudoi made.
The Promise. We thank the Buddha for showing us the way of freedom. We will endeavor to walk in his noble path every day of our lives. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Thank you to Rinban Sakamoto, Reverend Jones, Mr. Akizuki, Mrs. Tanabe, organist Mr. Yoshihara, AV coordinator Mr. Onishi, and to our special Earth Day speaker, Mr. Kobori. Are there any announcements?
While everybody's coming up for the announcements, I want to remind everyone next week at our 10:10 service, we'll broadcast, be able to view the BCA Taikyo service, which was supposed to have been broadcast about maybe almost a month ago following the National Council meeting. But because they were having problems, we weren't able to see that broadcast at that time. But we'll be able to, Mas Nishimura has put that together so that we'll be able to view it at our 10:10 service next week. And then the Japanese language service will follow that at 11 o'clock. So next week we have a couple of pre-recorded programs for you.
Good morning. My name is Jeannie Nakano. On behalf of Sangha Support Committee, we are so honored and pleased to have had Michael Kobori be our speaker this morning. He has surprised me. You're entertaining. You are humorous. You tie things together so neatly that we all understood. We all now will remember the 3 things that you've told us to remember as we go on to Earth Day this year. Michael Kobori was really scheduled in 2020, and you know what happened that year? COVID. Everything had to shut down. And so in March of that year, we had to shut down. He was to be our speaker in April. That was in 2020. Where are we now? 2025. So I'm so pleased that he was able to wait to come to here to speak to us. And aren't we glad we waited? We're so glad you were here. Thank you so much. And this is the last of our bags. This is an antique. We ordered hundreds of these. This is the last of them, and it goes to Michael today. Thank you very much. And a reusable bag.
Good morning. I'm May Kawamoto, Dharma School Superintendent. Just a quick announcement. I was hoping to get the students to go out right now. I think the Earth Day people are waiting. They have a schedule. So if you can meet your teachers outside of the gym, and then you have a scheduled slot to go to, I'll be handing these to your teachers. They must have got it by email also. But you can go to, I think there's 4 stations that you go to. between now and 11, but you can also stay if you missed one that you wanted to go to that your group didn't go to until noon. So go ahead and go out and meet your teachers outside. They're expecting you to be outside now, so thank you. And then for the adults, there is a special raffle that was added recently. It's the Trader Joe's mini tote. So be sure to stop by the raffle table to go buy your tickets to win the Trader Joe's mini tote. Thank you. Smaller audience than before. No, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah. Should I wait until?
Okay, on that note, hello, my name is Sarah.
My name is Jordan.
And I'm Addie from Girl Scout Troop 60782.
We would just like to announce that we will be selling flower arrangements for Mother's Day.
And we'll be selling them every Sunday until the 27th of this month. Each arrangement is $25, and we hope to see you there. Thank you.
Morning. Real short. Thanks to everybody who helped out last weekend for our Hanamatsuri service, whether you volunteered setting up tables or taking down tables or bringing food or all the various things that we do for our big services. Thank you for that. And then reminder, today at 4 o'clock, Reverend Henry Adams, who is under consideration to become our next Rinban, will be here with his family, so his wife and his 3 sons. They'll be here at 4 o'clock. We'll have some light refreshments, finger foods available as well, but this is just a chance for the Sangha to meet Reverend Adams, and then eventually the board will be voting on that topic. So again, that's today. There are other things going on, but I think we want to cut it short and get on to the next part. Thanks.
Excuse me, one last thing, Dennis Akizuki. So in 2 weeks, there's no service, right? Because it's Nikkei Matsuri and it's Dharma School Teachers Conference the same weekend. We're going to have Open Temple Day. So what that is that we open the temple and any visitor can come in. We need some volunteers to act like as docents. If you're interested, is Samuel here? Samuel has kind of like he has a QR code on a flyer, I think, that you can sign up that way, or you could let me know, and we'll be open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. that day, and we'll need probably 3 people per whenever, so 3 people continuously. So if you can help out, please help us. Thank you very much.
Hello, Gloria Yamauchi. I actually have one more announcement. On May 3rd at 12 o'clock, we're very pleased to be hosting the movie Carving the Divine, which is a documentary about a 1,400-year-old Buddhist wood carving tradition. You could find information on the movie in your Dharma newsletter, posters, and flyers in the office, or you can see me afterwards. So hope to see you there. Okay, so we have some time left, and we'd like to open it up to questions and answers for Michael. So are there any?
So I think he was going to do a presentation first, and then follow that with some questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, Mike.
Everything changed. Everything is impermanent. So. Once again, thank you very much for being here as our guest speaker this morning. All of you were in the Dharma School portion of the service. We'll continue this time with a presentation by my Kobori, and following that, we'll have an opportunity to ask questions. So get your thinking caps on and think about any questions that you might have, not just regarding his presentation, but also things that you might be concerned about and what we might be able to do in order to address some of those concerns. So at this time, may I ask you once again?
Thank you again, Rinban Sakamoto. And it's a pleasure to be here. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, my family's been involved with the Betsuin for many years, my father, George Kobori, was the superintendent of the Dharma school, as Rinban Sakamoto said. And my mom, who is 89, is still involved in the Betsuin, and Joanne Kobori, and she's sitting right here. So, hi, Mom. And I was really honored that Rinban Sakamoto asked me to speak to you all today on Earth Day. And I just retired as Chief Sustainability Officer from Starbucks, and prior to that, I spent 22 years leading sustainability and human rights at Levi Strauss & Company, which is headquartered in San Francisco. And that's part of the reason why when I went to Starbucks, I took the Levi's trucker jacket and I put patches on it, including Starbucks, and I gave it to everybody on my team and the CEO, trying to give everybody a uniform that they could be proud of. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, as I think about sustainability and Buddhism, I really believe that the Buddha was probably one of the first environmentalists because of this concept of oneness and interdependence, and that is certainly what we as environmentalists think about when we think about planet Earth. And we have a slide here, the same slide, the planet Earth slide. And when we talk about ecosystems and interdependence or symbiosis in the biological world. And I'm also really impressed that the Buddhist Churches of America have adopted this eco-sangha concept to celebrate Earth Day, and tying that to the Japanese idea of mottai nai. Don't waste because everything is precious. Don't waste because everything is precious. And, this concept of mottai nai, as I reflected on it, getting ready for today, it is very much something that was my theme or motto when I was doing the sustainability work at Levi's and at Starbucks. I always used to tell people, to be more sustainable means, by definition, you use fewer natural resources. That's what it means to be sustainable. Now, in the company context, using fewer resources also means less cost. And that is a good thing for business if you can reduce the cost. So sustainability and business, actually, good business actually can go hand in hand. And that was a big message that we had as we were pursuing the sustainability programs. Now, at Starbucks, the three biggest environmental issues that we faced were, number one, climate change, right, and our greenhouse gas emissions that contributed to global warming. Number two was water, because 99% of coffee is water. And number three was waste. I mentioned the 7 billion cups every year that Starbucks uses. Well, Starbucks started those two programs that I mentioned, bring your own cup, and when you're in the store, use their reusable cup. There's a third option that we also pursued when I was at the company, and that is the idea of a returnable reusable cup. So the idea here is you give the customer a cup, you ask them to bring it back, maybe you give a deposit on it, and then they bring it back, and you wash it and sterilize it and reuse it. So that's another thing that we were testing at the company. Well, after 5 years or so, after 4 years, we did all these different things, but still we weren't making as much progress as I wanted. So the team came up with a different idea. Rather than doing it just for Starbucks, we started asking our competitors, the other coffee companies, Peet's, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, because they all have the same problem of these disposable cups. And so we got them to agree. We got them to agree to do a pilot in one city where we would all work together. The city we chose was Petaluma, California, just north of here. And we agreed on this idea of what we called the purple returnable cup. Now, we used purple because it's not the color of any one of our brands, so we could all agree on using a purple cup. And we gave our customers the purple cup. We asked them to bring it back. We set up these return bins in all of our stores. And if we could go to the next slide, we also asked the mayor of Petaluma to get involved. Oh. Oh, okay. That's all right. Anyway, we got the mayor of Petaluma to be involved, and the mayor put the bins in every street corner. He put a big banner up in the main street of the city, and if you went to Petaluma last summer, you probably saw this. The purple cups were everywhere. It was great, and we got good results. We did this test for 4 months last summer. We got up to 50% return rate for these cups. Half the cups got returned. Now, that, believe me, that is a great level to get to in any program like this. And 50% is the break-even point from an environmental perspective and also from a financial perspective. So we were very happy about that. Now, the reason I'm sharing this collaboration that we did with the companies is because when we got together at the end and we had a big briefing, then we had a representative from the state of California come, from their recycling department. And she said, oh, this is a great program. This is what we need the industry to do everywhere in California, because California does have also a solid waste problem that we're trying to address. So I mentioned this collaboration because for me it illustrates a point about business and sustainability and Buddhism. At Starbucks, we were stuck thinking about our own ecosystem, our own interdependent oneness, when actually the solution was in expanding our thinking even broader, to the broader world of interdependence, of oneness. You know, one of the things that I really enjoyed as I reflect on my career of 30 years doing sustainability was working with others, other companies, other people in the industry to actually change the whole system, to make the system more sustainable. And, you know, I just retired, and I think about my career, and in preparing for this talk, I realized things that I learned here, sitting every Sunday in the Hondo, the Buddhist concepts of compassion, of oneness, of faith, stood me in very good stead as I pursued my career in business. So, as we celebrate Earth Day here at the Betsuin, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate the link between oneness and ecology, the importance about thinking how everything is interconnected in one's life and in one's career, and the fact that the Buddha, if we think about it, was probably the world's first environmentalist. So, thank you very much. Namo Minafatsu. And as Sensei indicated, if anybody has any questions, I would be happy to respond.
Gloria, were you going to kind of moderate, or shall we? Oh, any questions? You know, one of the things that I read going through the material about the work that Michael's doing is when we're thinking about sustainability, when we're thinking about the environment and governance and ESG, it's not for the stockholders' benefit, but it's stakeholders that are important in this, in doing this work. Stakeholders are people who might surround a company or business whose lives are impacted by the activity of that particular company, but that the ESGs are concerned about how they're affecting the stakeholders and not just the stockholders. We're kind of drawing back from DIEs and ESGs. But I think the work that Michael is doing is reminding people how important that work is. You had a question out here? Oh, okay.
Yes, my question, since you met with a representative from the state, are we going to see this program statewide? Is it going any further? Are we getting, whether it's purple cups or whatever color it's going to be, were you successful in convincing the state to do this somehow statewide?
Well, the state and actually many other states in the U.S. Are exploring a policy called EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, which basically means that whoever makes the cup is responsible for taking it back and recycling it. So it's a very simple concept. They use it in Europe a lot, and California has legislation on the books to begin to implement EPR by 2030. So this system that we did with the purple cups was, in a way, an industry pilot to figure out, oh, can the industry do this? Because all of the companies are going to have to do this. Right now, the public, all of us as taxpayers, bear the responsibility for waste and cleaning up and recycling. But under this approach, the companies that generate the waste are responsible for it. So that's a really good thing. Our policy department estimated that by 2030, half of all the Starbucks in the United States will be under some sort of EPR policy. We'll have to do this.
Oh, question here. You're making Tim run.
Front to back, yes. So I appreciate everything you're doing here. I'd worked for Salesforce for 9 years, so we had quite a few
Yes,
things going on
we did.
there as well. But one of the problems that I've seen is, first of all, these issues are too big for some people to grasp. They don't understand what's behind it. They don't understand the machinations of how things come together. And then add to that we live in what, for better or worse, is it's all about me kind of society. You know, the fact that I throw out this cup, that's convenient for me. I'm not going to look for some silly container sitting on a street corner somewhere. I need to get going. So how do we combat those things in this society that's overflooded with information already and is so self-serving?
Yes. Well, thank you for the question, Sensei. And one of the things we learned I worked for consumer product companies my whole career, so 30 years with Starbucks and with Levi Strauss and Company. One of the things you learn, it's very difficult, as you point out, to change consumer behavior. Very difficult. But it can be changed. Because if you think about, when I was a kid anyway, we used to get the Coke bottles, and you returned it, right, to wherever you bought it. There was the little crate, and you put it back, the glass bottle back. So we had that behavior originally, and it's 60 years of marketing and advertising that tells us, oh, it's okay to throw it away now. So I have always firmly believed that marketing is very powerful, and it can get us to change back. If we do that, we have to make it easy. So the reusable cup program and the programs we have at Starbucks to take the personal cup, we give an incentive, but we also know it doesn't take any more time in the drive-thru to use your own cup versus the cup that we give you, and it doesn't add any more time to what the barista has to do, because we can't do that. We can't make it less convenient than it already is.
No question there.
First question, do you rinse those cups before recycling? Second question is about if these cups are being recycled in foreign country, what impact of a tariff?
Yes. So number one, Yes, we wash and we sterilize because that's always a very important concern. It's certainly something that all of us learned during COVID. Very important. Sanitation, extremely important. No one wants to use, in fact, people didn't want to bring their own cups and reuse them during COVID. So yes, absolutely. We sterilize the cups before they're reused. Your second question was about the waste that goes to foreign countries. Actually, before 2019, much of the U.S. plastic waste got shipped to China. Okay, and China was supposed to be recycling it. There's some question as to whether it all got recycled or not. After 2019, there was regulation that China wouldn't allow us to ship them plastic waste anymore. So it's forcing us to deal with it ourselves, which is why we're getting these kind of extended producer responsibility policies, so to make the companies responsible for the waste to take it back and deal with it.
There was a question here, Ellen.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
In today's political climate, where millions of followers of a certain person do not believe in climate change, do not believe in anything worthwhile to help our planet, how do you combat that?
Well, some people may not believe in climate change. We do know that from science it is happening, and it is going to have a very significant impact on humanity. I never pursued sustainability to save the planet. The planet has existed for billions of years, and it will continue to exist for billions of years. But the thing that may not exist is humanity, because the planet is going to get too hot to sustain human life. Already parts of the planet in South Asia and the Middle East are too hot. People die because it's too hot, right? So we as a species can't survive. So this is a fact, it's happening. So there are plenty of people in companies, in government, in nonprofit organizations, in academia that believe this and are going to continue to fight for it. And this is church, so I don't want to get political, but I will only say that if there is a bully, then the response to the bully is to stand up to them and they back down. So that's what I'm doing.
Thank you, Michael. I'd like to ask you what kind of sustainability efforts were done at Levi Strauss?
At Levi Strauss, we did many. I can just mention two of them. One is, denim. We did something called a life cycle analysis of a pair of Levi's or a denim jacket. And that means, what is the environmental impact of the entire life of a pair of Levi's, from the time you grow the cotton to then the cotton gets processed into fabric, to the fabric gets cut and sewn and washed and then shipped to us as consumers. So we found that in the entire life cycle, one pair of Levi's uses 1,000 gallons of water. One Levi's, 1,000 gallons of water. Most of that is in growing cotton. So we embarked on a program called the Better Cotton Initiative with other companies and nonprofits and farmers to help grow cotton more sustainably using less water and chemicals. And then we also had a campaign called, for consumers, called Don't Wash Your Jeans, because consumer washing the jeans uses a lot of water. And so we encouraged people to not wash their jeans as often, and you really don't need to. And the kids loved it because they could wear their dirty jeans all the time.
I think we can take another question. We're getting close to our, Ray.
You know, in growing up, long time ago, when chewing gum, we used to collect that and ball it up, and we used to have a big ball that we used to send to Japan. that goes back a long ways. Even with a newspaper now, I collect the rubber band. I never bought a rubber band in my life.
So you're truly practicing motai nai. Everything is precious, even the old gum, yeah? Yeah, that's terrific. Yeah, but I think maybe today, I think again, through marketing and advertising and this fast-paced life, we lose some of that and we become a throwaway culture. So we have to get back to some of the practices that you have had your life.
I think we're kind of expected next door at 10:30. The Ikosanga has prepared a lot of activities for us. I want to thank Mike for joining us this morning and bringing your passion about sustainability and sharing that with us. Thank you very much. As we conclude, let's close with Gatho, please. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much, everyone. Any announcements, anything that we didn't cover so far? No? Okay. Please come forward for a shoko.